Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to give you a trade breakdown or a trade recap of the trade that I took today. This trade made me just over $700. And as you can see, it was an absolute beautiful entry and a beautiful take profit because it was a top tick because we reversed right from that level. And that's exactly what we love to see. I'm about to break down exactly how you could have taken a trade just like this, how I used my analysis and my confluences to find such a high probability entry. And guys, this wasn't that difficult. It was quite simple, and you're about to see how. So get ready, focus, lock in, because I'm about to break this down for you. Let's firstly start off on the daily time frame, right? And I clearly had a bullish bias. I had a bullish bias because firstly, we had a bullish SMT at the lows, and I'm about to show you why. If we look here on the NASDAQ, we can see that we have this low and we have this higher low, right? Low, higher low. If we head over to the S&P 500, you can see it's the other way around, right? We have a low and we have a lower low. That right there, bullish SMT. That right there means I want buys on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is the leading index, so I want to look for buys. If I then drop down to the 4-hour time frame, trying to correlate my analysis as much as possible, what can we see? We can see that we got this big impulsive move up. We took out all of these draws on liquidity. And at the time, we had retested this 4-hour gap. So going into today, I was thinking, right, if we've retested this gap with this big wick rejection, we're probably going to look for buys. And that is why going into today, I was looking for buys at market open. So let's drop down to the lower time frames and let's show you the trade that I caught. So guys, I'm about to show you one of the best indicators that I use all of the time. And this is the session ICT kill zone indicator. This tells you about the session highs and the session lows. And as you can see, if I use this, we can see that we have London lows right here, right? We can clearly identify that we have London lows, and what happened at market open here at 2:30, market comes down and we sweep out these lows. In fact, we sweep them out just a little bit before. We sweep out London lows in pre-market. But what does that tell me? That tells me that we've now swept out a strong draw on liquidity and we are potentially going to reverse from there. That is exactly what it is telling me. What else am I seeing? Well, I'm seeing that we got some clear accumulation, right? We had this clear accumulation period where the market is ranging and going sideways. This is post London session, right? We can see that we're just chopping side to side. What does this tell me? Well, this tells me that we are potentially going to get an AMD setup. And as you can see, accumulation, manipulation down to a key area, which in this case was London lows, and then a distribution towards a strong draw on liquidity, which was London highs. Do you see how this plays out? I wanted buys because I knew that London highs were a draw on liquidity that wanted to get swept. So how did I catch this buy? Well, if we get rid of this indicator, now that you guys know I was bullish, I firstly wanted to see a 5-minute inversion, right? I wanted the market to tell me that we were flipping structure to the upside. I wanted a 5-minute inversion and a 5-minute break of structure. And as you can see, once we swept out this low, we got this big impulsive 5-minute candle. We inversed this fair value gap. We broke structure to the upside as we closed above this 5-minute high. So now I was like, cool, perfect. I want to look for buys. Next thing I wanted to see, I wanted to see us retest a 5-minute bullish fair value gap. You can see that we have this one right here, and price came in and rejected from it. Amazing. Not only did it come into this 5-minute gap, where else did it pull into? If you guys know, this is my favorite confluence right now. We tapped into equilibrium of the range. If we mark it out from the swing low to the swing high, we retrace into this discounted zone as it's below the 0.5 region. So what am I then expecting? I'm then expecting a rejection because I want to look for buys. If we then drop down to the 1-minute time frame, what are we then looking for? As I said, a retest and a rejection. We got a beautiful retest of this 1-minute gap right here. I know I'm kind of rushing it, but guys, I just want you to be able to see this as clearly as I did. We got this retest of this 1-minute bullish fair value gap, right? We pulled into it. I then simply wait for a rejection out of it to confirm that we were respecting this. And as you can see, we got that rejection. I then targeted those London highs that I mentioned. As you can see via the indicator, we've got these London highs right here. And bang, this trade was an absolutely beautiful setup, making me just over $700 on the day. And bang, we flew straight to take profit. Guys, honestly, it's that easy, right? We had AMD, we had equilibrium, we had my personal expo model, we had the retest and the rejection, we had this strong draw on liquidity to the upside. there was no reason for why we weren't going to come up and take out this high. And that is exactly how I managed to catch this, guys. You can see how we have an SMT on the daily time frame as well, confirming that bullish sort of higher time frame bias. So guys, this trade, it had a bit of everything. It had an SMT, it had equilibrium, it had AMD, it had a 5 minute inversion, it had a 5 minute break of structure to the upside. We had a 1 minute retest, we had a 1 minute rejection, we had London highs up high. Like all of these things, I'm adding to the pot, and they're just making my confidence and bias stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And that is why ultimately this was a very high probability setup. This was A plus. This was as A plus as it gets for me, guys. This was as A plus as it literally gets for me. And yeah, zero drawdown, straight to take profit. For those of you wondering, where did you set your stop loss? I set my stop loss just underneath this 1 minute gap, because if we did inverse it, then that meant we probably were just going to invalidate that whole bullish setup and we would have pushed lower. But as you can see, we got this rejection. I set my stop loss just underneath it. Clean, swift move. This trade took around, I entered around 250 just at the US macro, and I exited at exactly 3. So it was literally 10 minutes on the dot, straight to take profit. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Hopefully it was very clear. If you have any questions or anything was uncertain, then let me know in the comment section. Just drop me a quick message and I will be happy to help you out. But I appreciate you for watching this video. Appreciate you for watching this trade breakdown, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.